Have you heard of Mashle?
Why?
Mashle is a comedy action manga that ran from 2020 to 2023, with an anime starting in 2023 as well. The premise of the series is, Mash lives in a world of magic where he is one of the unlucky few that cannot use magic. This is discovered at the start by the local police, which presents a few problems. For one, being magicless is considered illegal, so Mash's very existence is punishable by death. Furthermore, because Mash's adoptive father has been hiding him this whole time, he would also be punished. The police eventually discover Mash's house, and while interrogating his father, Mash interrupts them to protect him. Through the fight, the police realize that they can't win. Mash is bizarrely too strong for their magic, so rather than turning Mash and his father into criminals, the head officer Brad strikes a deal. He explains that because Mash has been discovered, even if they defeat the police now, they'll be branded as criminals and be on the run forever. Unless he enrolls in Easton Magic Academy and becomes a Divine Visionary. What is a Divine Visionary? Divine Visionaries are highly exceptional students that are selected each year from the magic schools throughout the country. Because of their status, if Mash were to successfully become a Divine Visionary, he would wield the influence necessary to change the rules in his favor. Since he doesn't really have any other choice, he immediately accepts. The next couple chapters cover the entrance exam for the school. Since Mash is entering a magic school, the tests during this exam are magic related. While the first chapter showed Mash basically ignoring magic through sheer strength, it's here we start seeing some of the more ridiculous things he can do. The first test given is a written exam. Based on what the exam giver says, the test itself is actually quite easy, but it's been magically scrambled. How does Mash deal with this? He threatens the paper. The rest of the tests feature Mash pretending to use magic through often ridiculous means until he gets to a final entrance interview. During this interview, he's presented with a direct challenge from the headmaster of the school, Wahlberg Bygone. I think the response to this challenge encapsulates Mash as a character perfectly.
もし校長が僕の前に立ちはだかったらって質問の答えなんですけど、その時はボコボコにしてあげますよ。グーパンで。
Despite this being a clear threat in response, he's still welcomed into Easton Magic Academy. It's at this point that the series turns into more of a slice of lifestyle series. Mash is struggling in his classes since, you know. Despite this, it seems like he's getting through his classes decently enough. Unfortunately for Mash, due to his very straightforward nature, he's often getting targeted by other people at the school. This often results in him just beating up someone, but that also presents problems because Easton is a prestigious school with a lot of children of influential people. Luckily for him, he manages to skirt around a lot of these issues. Until he doesn't. Since he's hiding his magic ability, or lack thereof, it was only natural that he would be discovered eventually. Once he is, he's confronted by the current lineup of Divine Visionaries. They're actually pretty split on what to do with him, but ultimately he's allowed to continue living and continue attending the school. However, becoming a Divine Visionary is now not only something he's looking to do, it's the only way for him to stay alive. Since that was his goal in the first place, it doesn't really change a whole lot, but now he is being required to do it within his first year at Easton. This is where we start getting breadcrumbs about the main enemy and Mash's origins within the story. But you'll have to read the series to find that out. The fights in this series are incredibly entertaining, especially whenever Mash is involved. Because he doesn't have any real magic, he uses muscle magic. This magic is often him just doing insanely ridiculous things, like ripping a root out of the ground to break the footing of his enemy, or even more ridiculously, molding his iron wand into a tennis racket to then start rallying the enemy magic against them. Outside of Mash, some of the actual magic showcased in this series is awesome. My favorite magic happens to be used by my favorite character, Rain Ames. Rain's magic is partisan, and the simple explanation is sword magic. He has the ability to summon and control giant swords, and whenever he's fighting on screen, it's just really awesome to watch. The supporting cast of the series is also great. Characters like Rain, Wahlberg, Finn, Dot, or Lance are all just really fun whenever they're in a scene. Even the more antagonistic characters like Abel, Margaret, or Orter are great as well. The only exception would probably be Lemon, who doesn't really do anything other than fall in love with Mash and borderline harasses him throughout the series. She's also one of the very few female characters in the series, which is just very unfortunate. In contrast, Dot has a pretty strong character arc. It's kind of funny. It might have been intentional, but the very start of the series, when Dot is introduced, he has a really bad case of main character syndrome, and he gets humbled throughout the story, but by the end of the series, he feels a lot closer to the main character that he thinks he was at the start. Mashle is just a pretty strong series with some great paneling and action sequences. It also features the comedy center stage. I often found myself laughing out loud to a lot of the jokes in this series. I haven't watched the anime yet, but considering the series isn't very long and the anime has already had 2 seasons with a 3rd on the way, I feel pretty comfortable recommending either medium to experience the series. Thank you for watching.